Okay, so the first step here is we're gonna take off the wheel. Always use your hand, never use actual tools. And we're gonna free up these, which I definitely didn't already have freed up. Anyway, I use a little can like this, or sorry, a little cover from the wheel cap, or dust cover, whatever you call this. And it works pretty good for holding bolts and screws and stuff that you're going to use. So, slide your wheel over there. So there's supposed to be set screws on this, but there are none. And let's see if I can go ahead and pry this off without using any tools. Just like that. The spring that you can see here from the handbrake is actually missing on the other side, and that is the cause of the excessive wear on the shoes and why the whole drum got messed up and why everything was caked in brake dust. So as you can see here, when you pull or apply the handbrake, this opens up, obviously doing a squeezy boy, and this spring allows it to return back to where it's supposed to be. I didn't buy a new spring for that side, and you know what, I'm gonna see if I can reuse the bottom spring from this. Actually no, it's a lot smaller. Nah, it won't work. Anyway, I gotta buy another one of these springs for the other side just to make it work properly. Now I know, but all this stuff is fairly new. Like, realistically, this is probably like pretty recent. So I don't know if I'm gonna actually yeah, I'm gonna replace it anyway. Why not? I got nothing else to do. Just a rough comparison on the old stuff versus the new stuff. Looks a little bit better. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna put back is we're gonna put the handbrake or the park brake lever back into the boot over here, so we can install this first, and it'll just help us put everything else in place. Okay, so you can see them like that. Simply slide this one off and you put it through here. But before I do that, I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. Usually I do the whole paint it black and put it back thing, but I don't think it's necessary for this right now. So again, this slides in like that. Oh, there we go. And then right over here, you kind of just want to slide it into this side. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah. She'll get it. Squeeze her in, and she's good there. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to connect the e-brake cable back on. This way I don't, forget how it goes on. Bolt on the top comes down with a little washer on it. You slide it right over this, like that. It's in place now. Now you have a crush washer, and you have your nut. You just want to put those on in place. You can snug them or whatever you want to do. At the moment, I am gonna leave it. I'm gonna snug it all in place once everything else is adjusted, just so I know that's the way it's supposed to be, I guess. But yeah, there always is gonna be a little bit of flex in it, but that's good. Okay, now we're gonna install our wheel cylinder, and how we're gonna go is from the inside, just through that little hole again, jiggle it in, and just slide her in place like that, and she's good. She's where she wants to be. And you can see this kind of locks into place. Well, you can't really see it, but here, let me show you. Oof, she's in there now. So behind here, there is a groove, and that's where this little nub on each side of these is going to sit into place. So just slide her in, find the nub, and that'll sit perfectly like that. This will be squeezed into place, maybe, if it wants to. And then from the back, we're going to put our clips in. I just want to point this out for everybody. It is a lot easier to get the the brake feed, whatever cable and stuff threaded in here when this is loose, so you can adjust it straight. Otherwise, if you're like me, you basically strip the whole inside of this boy and make it completely useless. What a waste of like $17. Anyway, so you've got a flat clip, and then you have this sort of curved angle clip, and this one slides in from this side, and then this one slides in on top over for the other side, and they kind of hold each other in place. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. And they prevent each other from moving around. So essentially, one over like this on the bottom, and then the other one coming from the opposite side will clip onto it and hold it in place. So it's a little bit hard to see, but I do have the clips on right now, just opposing each other on the outside. Okay, so while you're here, you want to go behind there and just, I guess, if you can, clean it up a little bit, make it all pretty, tuck in the boot back down properly. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to take our nice new wheels adjuster. I don't know. The thingy inside here, you spin this and it basically will adjust the tension on your, or like how much the pads basically touch, the shoes touch the drum. Anyway, so you slide it right in like this, and boom, she's good to go. You just gotta put the little nuts in the back, just like that. So again, come in with the socket from the back, and do everything by hand. It's always better. And just the 2 bolts. There's a little gap. Probably not gonna be able to see it, but there's a gap I can go through right there, and I can access them. Okay, so now that that's in place, we're gonna go ahead and set up our shoes. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to put a spring from the bottom across the 2, just so I can slide it up, put the pins in place, and then put the springs on top after the pins are holding the shoes in place. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. I've never actually watched a tutorial. I'm kind of just guessing here. So I don't know if this is the best way to set it up, but I put my spring to the bottom like that on the inside, and I'm going to slide one side kind of into place, not fully, and the other side I will, oh, there we go. Okay, so that side's in place. Now this side, I'm just going to try to pull, not with crazy strength, but just enough to get this to squeeze over like that into place. Now, if you do that wrong, you're probably going to lose a finger, but I did it right. So then, from the back here, slide your little pinny boys in, wherever you can find the hole. I don't know where the hole is. I'm going to try to feel for it. Right there. And that slides in right like that. And then you take a spring like that, and you take one of these this way. The concave part, or convex part, goes into the spring. What you're gonna do is, there's usually a tool for this, but there's like, you can see like a little like slot. Basically, the same way you took it off, slide the slot over and just turn it a little bit. I can even line her up. There's a little spot where it's got to sit. I got that one good. Now let's find the hole on the other side. Right there. And we just slide this one in. Somewhere. Oh. Can't find the hole. There she is. And then find your spring. Put the spring on it. Just use your finger in the back, just hold it in place. Slide this one over as well, the same way. Now that one's in place. Those are secured. And there was a little cotter pin you want to replace. I didn't. Right over there to hold the e-brake cable assembly thingy, and then you just get your little pliers from Canadian Tire, bend it over real nice like, and she shouldn't go anywhere. Shouldn't. Now you got this springy boy to slide into here on one side and onto the other side. However, this is going to be tricky because life's not always easy. My honest opinion, take this into the shop if you're like me and don't know how to do things right. Anyway, okay, so that side's in. Slide her down here to the other side, and now is the hardest part. You want to bring this all the way into there. So I'm gonna use a pick and just slide this like that, and that one's in place. Pull your pick out, and then boom, you have brakes. So that's basically how you put everything together now. So you should be good. Again, you're gonna want to adjust the tension on this after the fact once you have the new drum on. So let's just get rid of the oil from there. I'm not gonna spray any of that brake cleaner on the rubber. I don't know if it does anything, but I'm not gonna do it anyway. New brake drum. And we're just going to hit this with a little bit of brake cleaner, just for fun. Okay, once you got everything in place the way you want it to be, you slide your drum on top, just like that. Give it a little wiggle, and she'll slide on. And now you just got your little set screws. Put these boys in. One on each side, obviously. Well, screw them down nice and tight. There's no point in those things because even without them, your drum's never going to come off anyway with the bolty boys on there. But yeah, that's how you install your brakes on this boy. You don't forget you have the screw back here to tighten down from the e-brake cable. Now, once you've got everything together, you can go ahead and put your little bleeder valve cap on, which is super tight. I am not having a good time with this. And there you go. She's tight. Now, don't forget, you can't just drive yet. You still have to bleed the brakes, put more fluid in it, yada yada yada, because obviously you've disconnected the line and added air into the whole system. But other than that, it's pretty simple. 0 cuts. So